All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome. Welcome. I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we're in the P-38 Lightning Saturday, departing from Fairchild Air Force Base, heading to Great Falls, so Washington to Montana. About an hour, a little over an hour-long flight. We're going to depart from here. Now, quick, let me make sure. Nope, see, now it changed it again. You gotta be kidding me. At first it said runway 5, now it's gone to runway 23. It can't make up its mind. Alright, so the departure runway is 23. I changed it to 5 this morning because that's the information that I had. I think it's still 5 is the correct departure runway. Let me double check here. It may have changed. Okay, the winds are settled. So anyway, we're going to depart from 23. We're going to head over to this VOR DME MLP is our first waypoint, and then we're going to turn towards the beginning of our DME arc here at IMUPE. I put the information in wrong when I was building that stuff up. When I wrote these two names down, it was in the evening. I was kind of tired and I put the letters in the wrong place, or put the wrong letters in general, so I apologize for that. So we're going to head here basically, and then we're going to turn in, land on runway 21, and then we'll be done. So we will tune into this VOR DME because that's going to help us fly our arc basically, and then also on our final approach. Good morning, Joseph. Let me change the time here as well. I've already got the cloud. It's just a few clouds today. Nothing too fancy. I'm going to try to get this about a nice morning takeoff. You know, a little bit of a sunrise flight. Something like that. I think that'll be sufficient. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. All right, I'm going to go in here and get things started. So, yeah, I was trying to make sure I had everything built, and then I was like, why is it not working? And then, of course, it's because I didn't write things down correctly. So, ooh. Okay. Let's get that out the way. Make sure fuel tanks. Oh, I should tank up first before I do anything else, before I forget. Just make sure we get enough fuel to get us there. All right. I think Patrice is on, but I'm waiting to see. I don't know if he's going to want to fly today or not. So I'm waiting to see if he pops into the chat and asks for an invite. There's that part. Oops. Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Oops. Forgot to crack the throttles a little bit there. Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Voila. There we are. Now I think P-38 was down there. Double check on them. So if we're facing the tower, yep, we gotta go down that way. Okay. Information back up there. Oh, we need to do a couple other things. One, we need to change that to that. We need to be able to zoom just a smidge. Oops. We need to dial in our first nav point of 11780. Second one will be 11510. All right, there's that. And all that stuff is on. Perfect. Alright, well, we'll head down to our departure runway and sit tight there and see if anybody's going to join up or wants an invite or anything. So I did receive a notification last night via email. Hello, Sergeant Staff. Nice to see you here. Yeah. Try to fly that on Saturdays. Every once in a while we flop over to the Spitfire, but we did do Spitfire Saturdays for quite some time, and then the Lightning came out, so kind of... Oh, you're welcome, Joseph. So yeah, I got a email last night saying that... yeah, I do too. It's a fun plane to fly. It's not as weird, quirky as the Spitfire has become, but it does have its own little oh, nice. Yeah, I got the Spitfire first, and it was a bit of a, I don't want to say it was a letdown, but there was some issues with it, and they finally, you know, it took a while, but they got it fixed, and then this came out, and it's the only thing that I don't like is the barometer doesn't work on the aircraft. You can't like lower it; you can only raise it up. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get that fixed eventually. But you know, it's a fun plane to fly. But anyway, as I was saying, I got a nice email yesterday from somebody. It's just a anonymous email saying that somebody gave me feedback here on Twitch, saying that the one thing they liked about me was my dedication. So I greatly appreciate that. It's not always easy, to be honest, and I think most streamers feel this way, that you know, sometimes you wonder if your content is you know, appreciated or anything like that. So so yeah, I greatly appreciate that feedback. I have a small collection of warbirds, the 38, the Spitfire, and the Corsair. Yeah, I would like, I hope one day we do get the Corsair here on the Xbox, but probably by the time it gets released, I'm probably going to end up having a PC anyway, hopefully. So that way I don't have to worry about waiting for stuff on the marketplace, so that I can just go buy it directly from flightsim.to or places like that. So hopefully we're heading in the right direction. If not, we've got a little bit of time to scoot down to the other end and turn around and get ready for takeoff. So yeah, it was a nice bit of feedback. I appreciate that. What else? Tomorrow, no flights. I'm just going to do a couple runs on the on Train Sim World 2 on the Hamburg line, going from Hamburg to Lübeck and then Lübeck back to Hamburg. Yeah, well, I think because they don't want to be like DCS, you know, because if you have DCS, that should be sufficient. But I don't know. That I heard that that's not what their intent was ever, to have armaments on the aircraft or anything like that. They didn't want to turn into a, you know, dogfighting sort of simulator. But that's what my understanding was. I don't know. I think we are going to be turning real quick. Anyway, we'll find out here in just a moment. Yeah, just 2 trains tomorrow, or just 2 runs on the Hamburg line, Joseph. I'm not flying tomorrow. I'm just taking a break from the flying. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but I don't know. Yep, we are at the correct runway. Alright, there we go. I never saw them with it on in the sim. I know you could put them on the Spitfire, but I think they took that away. There was a way you could click something, and then it would show the armament, but then I think they removed it. I think they told Flying Irons they had to lose it. That's not what they wanted for their sim. So we are here at our departure runway. See if anybody's going to spawn in. Let me see. I don't think. Oops. Oops. Pushing too many buttons at the same time. Looks like Patrice is otherwise engaged in the. Oh, interesting. Well, I wonder how long it'll be before they tell the developers of the Corsair that they gotta, you know, get rid of that stuff. I don't know. It's one of those weird things, but I just remember hearing that that was one of their things, was that they did not want the sim to be a combat simulator or whatever. They just wanted it to be more about the flying, not about all that. But I think Jorg. I thought I remember hearing Jorg say that once, but I could be wrong. Right. I think. Oh, if you get a third party, they don't. Okay. Yeah. See, that's the difference. Yeah. We're kind of beholden to the situation. All right, it's 7:26, so I'm going to go ahead and scoot out here and depart forthwith and expeditiously. In the air, and then we got to get on a heading of 082 and get up to about 9,000 feet. We're already at almost 2,500 feet as it is, so it's not going to be too far of a climb. All right, I think we are all set. I don't think I need to. Okay. Let's go. Ooh, I forgot. Almost forgot one thing. I didn't. I need to add a little bit of trim first. Always forget this part, and then I'm trying to do the trim and fly at the same time. All right, let's go. Time to climb out of the way. There it is. All right, we are good to go. Sufficient. Yeah, you have, Joseph. You sure have. Good stuff this morning. You weren't speeding. You weren't blowing through the stations. All right. So Fairchild Air Force Base. It was during World War II. Before it was named Fairchild Air Force Base, and we'll get to the naming in a moment. It was a repair depot from aircraft that was damaged in the Pacific Theater during World War II. It now has an air refueling wing. It's named after General Fairchild, who grew up in the state of Washington, was a pilot in World War I, was enlisted initially, and then became commissioned and rose to the rank of 4-star general, was the vice chief of staff for the Air Force during the Korean War, was on assignment to the Pentagon, and died at his home in 1950. So the field was renamed Fairchild Air Force Base in 1951. Name stuck ever since. Our destination today at Great Falls was make sure I read this correctly. It was called Gore Army Airfield. It was home to the 7th Ferrying Group, so I'm guessing there's not much information on them, but they, I guess, took aircraft to other locations or whatever as needed. It's a little too much. want to get back towards the track, but not like excessively so. And then it was also home to the 385th Army Air Force Base Unit. It's now the Great Falls International Airport and also part of the Great Falls Air National Guard Base. So there is your quick history lesson on our departure and our destination today. I think what I need to do, boy, the superchargers were really heated there for a second. Alright, we've leveled off at about 9,000 feet. Stuff, and I need to, what am I going to do? Oh, I need to switch this to the drop tanks. We're just going to take our fuel from there. Should have more than enough to get us there. Yeah. Fuel tanks and the drop tanks. So yeah, that's what I was kind of curious to see where the name came from, and it was called different things over the years. The Spokane area was picked apparently because it's 300 nautical miles inland, so they figured, you know, if there was some kind of a sneak attack, they would have time to prepare for it, or, you know, respond or whatever, you know. So we're not prepared for a sneak, you know, but just be, you know, they would have time to alert them that the, you know, there was an attack. So, yeah, be interesting little history. I didn't know where the name came from. I thought it was like the town name or something, because that's what most places are named after. Some are named after towns, some are named after officers or whatever. So we are on our way. Let's see if kind of around here, make sure I get a surprise guest like I did the other day with APR1. APR1. Okay. People are always welcome to join in if you want. We're on the Southeast server. If you're on the Discord, all the information, our route, and all that is there. Our one and only well, our first major VOR here coming up. And let's see, that one's going to be 82 nautical miles, that leg. So flying towards the sun this morning. Of course, it's still dark actually in Spokane, Washington. It's only like 4:30 in the morning. All the sensible people are still asleep. Joseph, I didn't quite know how to answer that person who was like confused by my name when I popped into your chat this morning, and it was still pretty early for me. It was only like roughly 5:30 in the morning, so I was still kind of waking up, but I didn't quite know how to respond to them, so I just chose not to. Yeah, I kind of looked at his page just to kind of see, you know, like get an idea, and when I read it, it just seemed kind of like, okay. So the longest part of our leg or flight today will be once we pass this VOR DME in front of us, which we have excuse me, 56 nautical miles to our VOR DME here in the distance. So once we pass that, then we're going to turn on a heading of 072 for 160 nautical miles. This will be the longest leg, and that will take us to the beginning of our DME arc to come into Great Falls International there in Montana, going into Big Sky Country today. Picture for posterity's sake today. Ooh, that's kind of a nice shot right there. Ooh, you don't even have to change anything. I like that right there. That's perfect. Doesn't get much better than that. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes when I go to the outside camera to do the screenshot for the flight, sometimes it comes up like this and it's like perfect. Can't get any better than that, I think. You got the sun, you got some sun little rings and everything, the sun off the water there, some clouds. Just cruising along here. I like it. That's it. We can retire now. We got our one great shot. It might be a little bit quiet today. I know Jody and Para like kept on trucking after their 12-hour stream ended, their charity stream. They kept going past the 12-hour mark, and I was just like, good luck to you both. I would think by 12 hours, even after a couple breaks, it would be time to call it a day, but they kept going. So yeah, I don't know really. So it might be quiet. I haven't seen Jody in the chat in like forever, and I feel bad because Patrice did get her a gift sub. I'm gonna do a quick ad. Back in a moment. Yes, Joseph, 12 hours. Because they were still going, I think, when Vic and Pulse were still playing FIFA. It was like they hit the 12-hour mark, and I was like, okay. And so then they were like, oh, we're gonna park and take another break, and we're gonna keep going. And it's like, well, okay. So then I finished watching Mick and Pulse play FIFA last night. Superchargers seem to still be a bit warm, but not. I think everything should be on auto to get that open to cool them down. But all right, let's have a look here. Where are we at? 40 nautical miles. There we go. So, yeah, I was trying to keep track of both of those streams, and I thought, okay, after 12 hours, they must certainly be ready to wrap it up, but no. Let's see what else is going on. So yeah, tomorrow, just 2 runs on the Hamburg line. I'm not sure if I'll do like passenger and freight or all freight, or I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might do one of each. I don't know. So yeah, probably going to be quiet one today. Saturday, most people might be heading out with family and stuff. Other events to deal with. Surprise guests, they're behind us. Pretty quiet server. Just learning the operation of the. Yeah, I've heard that's supposed to be a very popular plane. I think it's what, Milviz or something was the one that put that out. It looks fantastic. Yeah, I kind of feel jealous, honestly. It's like I got plane envy, because the PC side, you guys are just getting so much stuff all the time. And like I don't know if you. So like early on when I got into the sim and I found the Fly Simware. Okay, that's it. I thought it was Milviz, but maybe I'm thinking of a different plane. So I was looking at I went to the website called MSFS add-ons. I think Two-Tone uses that for a lot of the news. Yeah, 310R. That's it. That's the one I was thinking of. And so I would hope, and this was before I was in the forums really, and on Reddit with, some other pilots and stuff, or other simmers. And so I would see this stuff and I'd be like, oh my God, this is coming out. And so I would totally get on there and, I'd launch the sim and go like, okay, where's it at? Why isn't it there? And so then I would go back and I'd read it, and it's like, oh, it's only for the PC. No idea if or when it'll be on the Xbox or on the console. And it's like, okay, yeah. I saw both of them, and they look amazing. Everybody that's flying them says they really enjoy them. Yeah, I am getting plane envy, to be honest. It's just, yeah. I honestly, if I could right now, if I had the money, I would totally have a PC with the yoke and throttle and the whole 9 yards. I would have. I would just fly everything on the PC from there on. It's just too. I feel like we're waiting for Christmas to come, and who knows if or when it'll arrive. So yeah, it's. it can be a bit depressing sometimes, to be honest. Like, you know, but I'm curious to see. Honestly, part of me wants to watch the developer stream on the 18th of August, but part of me doesn't want to. You know, so I don't know, because I think that's the one question, especially on will be about the WASM fix and Sim Update 10. What is the status? Where are things at? Is it going to happen or not? I think that's the main question in a lot of people's minds. I feel like it could go either way. It could be a fantastic moment and Jorg says, yes, everything's on track, or it could be Jorg will say, well, about the WASM fix, and that's what was good news, I think. But we'll see. It could all work out. I hope it does. I really hope it does. I don't know that I want to watch it and end up disappointed. I think I'd just rather get the bad news the next day. I need a higher speed, high altitude plane for on air. What is on air? I've not heard of that. High speed, high altitude plane. I don't know what on air is. I've not heard of that before. Oh, it's a virtual airline. Okay. Never heard of that. Is that something like you could be a part of on the PC side, like, or is it through FS Hub or something? Or I don't know if I've ever. I'm not sure how. I always hear different things, little things like that. Not different, but just little things like that that I've never heard of before. It's on through FS Hub. Okay. All right, then because I'm part of the Firefly. It's not on FS Hub. It's just some. Okay. I thought it was one of those things that you got on. You could be a part of on FS Hub or something. Okay. Let's see. We are 10 nautical miles out. Okay, it's similar. All right, gotcha. Yeah, I did get on FS Hub. So, yeah, I have to put it in everything manually, then I have to wait for somebody to give it the thumbs up. Can't believe we are at the end of July already. Goodness gracious, where did the time go? Other quick reminder, and I'll put it in the Discord for those of you who are on the Discord, but I'll say it again tomorrow while we're doing the trains. Monday stream will not be at the normal time. It will be probably as close to normal as I can get it, but Monday, I'm going to run over to Walmart first thing in the morning because they open at 6 a.m. East Coast time. I'm going to run over there, get some shopping done, get back home, and make some coffee, grab a snack or two, start up the Sims, and start the stream. I'll probably just be on the departure runway itself. I won't start up and do the stuff that I normally do before I fly. And then I'll dial in our first VOR DME, or is it a VOR DME? Yes. So we'll do that. So I'm hoping to be as close to 7:30. It's probably going to be about 7:30, quarter to 8. If I can get over there and get my stuff done. I already have my list, so I'm going to go in there, try to get all those things, get through the checkout, and head back. Get home, get everything put away, get the kettle on, get some coffee on, and then we'll get started. All right, let me see where we are before I forget. Oh, we are right there. All right, perfect. And we're on a heading of 072. All right, there we go. That's our next track. Go ahead and swap frequencies. Oops. Let's get that away for just a moment since we're already turning. Swap over to GTF. 11510. Okay, perfect. $158 nautical miles. So we got a little bit of flying to go. Some nice country here. Yeah. I was worried that we were gonna. I was kind of curious to see how high we needed to fly today, but this has worked out quite well, I think. No other surprise visitors. So yes, Monday, that's the plan. I'm gonna go get my shopping done, get back home, get my coffee started, grab something to eat, get everything, figure out this autopilot. Oh, yeah, there's a couple planes that the autopilot just doesn't, it's not very intuitive, and it's like you gotta kind of tinker around, or it's like some planes you have to be at a certain altitude before it'll engage or something like that. It's kind of one of those trial and error sort of things. Like I experienced that with the Embraer 170, 175 series. Like I'd take off, like I normally do in an A320, and I'm, positive rate of climb. I hit the autopilot, switching for GPS to VOR. Huh, that's interesting. So yeah, I had that problem where it wouldn't take. The plane would start to drop down, and I'm like, so it turns out you have to be at a certain altitude and then you can engage the autopilot, but not before that. It's like an altitude or something like that. So the pilots have to kind of hand fly the aircraft on the departure up to a certain point, and then they can engage the that is an interesting issue. I've never heard of that before. I've not seen the inside of the flight deck, so I couldn't say where a switch might be. No idea. More number 20,000 feet in tester. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do try to do stuff like that. I'll, just when I get a new plane, I just go through the startup stuff, or just see, does it have an automated checklist of some kind, so that I can, while I do other things, or, pay attention to the chat, that the co-pilot's handling everything else. So that does help out quite a bit sometimes, but other times it is nice to do everything on your own. We are a little bit off track. feel like I need to go just a smidge higher too. Let's just go up to 10. Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I always just try to at least do the startup stuff. So one of the things, kind of talking about going into August. August 17th is the end of our journey from Amsterdam to Indonesia. Okay. So I'm going to take about 5 days off after that. Won't be streaming. I'm just going to kind of get things ready to kick things off on the 22nd. Now, one of the things that I know they've kind of put a tentative date, I think, for the Sim Update 10 release, and I want to say it's like on the 28th or the 29th of August, that very last Monday or something of August, I think. So I'm trying, I need to find that date or so that I can. So what I may do, I'm trying to figure out what would be, like, I don't know if it's going to be that morning or if it's going to be in the afternoon. Depending on when it is, flights will be canceled. If it's like in the afternoon, like on that Monday afternoon, then Tuesday's flights is no-go. Just so that I have time to test everything, figure out, make sure everything works, what doesn't work, so that if I need to swap something out, replace it, or change a flight altogether, I have time to do that. So look at this absolutely amazing scenery here. I don't know that I'd want to live in Montana. Montana's nice to visit, but I don't know that I'd want to live there because those winters can be quite a lot to deal with. It's really a lot of snow, and if you're out in the boonies, you're on your own. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. I just gotta find out when the expected date is so that I can adjust my schedule accordingly. But during those 5 days off, I am gonna try being the key word, because I still want to do it. Now, I know it's not a plane that everybody has, and that's perfectly fine. But I do want to do. I want to get a Concorde flight. Concorde. Love the turbos on this. It doesn't need power adjustments. Huh? So I want to do one from Heathrow to JFK. The only one of the things though that I've struggled with is getting the flight plan where I have to kind of figure out, like, I got the takeoff stuff down kind of, but then it's going into land, the descent, because you have to start descending at a certain point way farther out than you normally would because of the speed of the aircraft. You're going to cover a lot of distance as you're descending. So, I have to, just don't follow DC-10, So I'm just trying to figure out. I want to practice that a little bit. I'm gonna try to figure out how all that works, and then hopefully do a stream sometime in August or September. Probably be in September. Do a flight from Heathrow to JFK. I will have the aircraft started up because it's a bit of a long process. I'll do it off stream. Like I'm gonna have to start like almost an hour ahead of time, just to get the aircraft started up and then head out to the departure runway. So yeah, that's the plan. So we'll do that, and then so yeah, that's my plan for the couple days off. I just have to discipline myself to get it done. It's easy, like, oh, I'm not going to be flying, and I'll do other things, or I just won't do anything at all, and then it's like all of a sudden those 5 days will be gone, and I haven't done much with it. It probably won't be that day right after I conclude the flight. It'll be like probably like be on Thursday. I'll try to figure all that stuff out. I just one of the things I might do sometime later today is just go through the startup procedures and all that, and try to understand especially the descent portion of the flight. Alright, let's see where we are now. 120 nautical miles to our the beginning of our DME arc. Getting our approach there into Great Falls International. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. For those of you, oh, hello, Amela. How are you? Before you ask, I had ham sandwiches last night for dinner. It was so muggy last night again. It's been a little bit cool this morning, but last night I just was like miserable. I was thinking about making pasta, but I'm like, no, I don't want the oven on. All right, take care, Sergeant Staff. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hopefully you get the 414 sorted and enjoy flying that. Yeah, so I know sandwiches doesn't seem very exciting, but it's just like, yeah, when it was really hot, I could not. I just was like, no, I don't even want the oven on. I think we're out of the really mountainous areas. I'm okay, thanks. Yeah. Woke up early this morning, caught Joseph acting goofy on the 484. He probably buggered off already. All right. Sorry about that. Just had to. Went out to eat last night. Oh, nice. I haven't been to a buffet in. Well, it's been quite a while. There's not many. Well, I don't even know if it's still open, to be honest. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just unmuted myself. Sorry. Yeah, I had myself muted. I was just answering a text, so I didn't want to hear me clicking away on the. But anyway, yeah, there was one over by not far from the college. I don't know if it's still open or not. I haven't been over that way in a little while, so I couldn't say that if it is open. Let's see. Probably about, I'd say over at least 10 miles away. It's just, you go over the Susquehanna River, and it's like, if you're driving, it doesn't take very long to get there. You certainly can take the bus to get in that immediate area, and then you can just walk up there. But, ooh, maybe I need to get back up in altitude just a bit more. These seem to be a bit high. Just want to make sure we clear that. I thought we cleared all the mountains, but apparently not. Yeah, the Susquehanna River. It flows through this area. There used to be, well, I think there still is a locomotive downtown at the little yard, but there is a Susquehanna Railroad locomotive, I think, still in the area, but I don't know that it's used for anything, to be honest. It's like it's just sitting there, I think. I thought I heard another engine for a second. Alright. Wow, look at that. Oh boy. This looks like F-14 country right here. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at all that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, the F-14 through this area. What's the max amount of plates you can do it? What's the max amount that I could do? I don't know. I guess it depends on how hungry I am. Well, I'm one of those people that my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and I'm like, oh, I want all this, and then you get out and you're just like, I'm full. Yeah, but you didn't eat all your stuff. I know, but I'm full. Yeah. I'd say probably 3 max. When I was younger, I'd probably say it'd be almost 6 on a good day. Yeah, I tend to. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I overeat, and it's like, you feel lousy afterwards. It's all the get all this food. You're like, oh, I want everything, and then you're just like, oh, I can't eat it all. So, yeah, I can't. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I need to go a little higher still. Let's go to 14 just to be safe. Still got quite a bit of distance to go here. 84 nautical miles. After we get there, then I'll start. Once we cross over and it looks like it's going to be flat for some time, then drop the altitude. Yeah, but yeah, about 3 plates probably. Because the one over there, I usually would go get some, like the chilled mussels. They have like the shrimp sushi, like the piece of shrimp on the top of the little rice thing. What else? Some sweet and sour chicken sometimes. It depends on what they had. So that would be like round 1, and sometimes I would go for a second round, but it's like I have to sit there and let the food digest for a moment before I went for round 2. But that's usually about the most I can do. I think that's, yeah, it's just I think I've had 5, and that was it was a small Thai place in Oakland that the department I was working at when I was doing the aerial photography project for the U.S. Geological Survey. We did the whole state of Missouri. We went. It was very small, and it had like, I think it was generally like curry chicken, chilled mussels, rice. You could get steamed rice, pork fried rice. It wasn't a whole lot, but and they had, I think they had 2 different curries. They had like a kind of a mild curry, and then they had like the ridiculously hot curry. So those were your only 2 options. There was no in between. And sometimes it felt like even the mild curry was a little too much. I think I had 5 plates there because it was like the first time I'd ever gone there. But it was mainly I think that was the first time I tried the chilled mussels on the half shell, and I was like, man, this is good. Like I probably had more plates of that than anything else. So. And then my boss at the time told me, he said, well, you have to be careful with that because some places will serve mussels that are out of season, and then you can get sick. So he said if we ever come back there, if he could look at the mussels and go like, nope, don't eat them, you'll get sick. I don't know if it's like a color or something that they turn, but he had some way of knowing, like, yeah, you don't want those. Steer clear of that today. So, but yeah, a lot of places would have them out, even if they were out of season, and people wouldn't know, and then eat them and get sick from it. So. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was a neat little place. It was kind of like a family-owned mom and pop sort of place. So yeah, really enjoyed that. But I think I'm trying to remember when I went to Well, I think when I was in Savannah, there's I can't remember the name of the places now. There was one place that was like an all-you-can-eat, and they had all kinds of different foods. Like you could go and get chicken and fish and steaks. And, they had all kinds of stuff. What was the name of that place? I have to ask my buddy in Vegas because we went there a couple times when he was still living in the Savannah area before he got assigned to Hawaii. Golden Corral. I just remembered it. Golden Corral. Yeah, it was one of those kinds of places like Golden Corral, and that all you could eat, and like they had all kinds of stuff. Like they had the chocolate fountain, and all kinds of stuff. But the food, of course, was not like, it was just like mass produced. Like the steaks were all. The meat wasn't like of course they're not going to be like the greatest cuts of meat, but they just weren't like, I don't know. Yeah, they just weren't that great, but when you're paying only a small amount, a certain amount, and then it's all you can eat, you're just like, I'll eat it, I don't care. So, ooh, wow, we are off course again. See, I was on 7.6, and then we were going, yeah, Golden Corral. It was, I don't know that it's still open. It was pretty popular when I was there. I think they were kind of, because it was right near where the Sears was, I think, at that mall. It was a really nicer mall, but once the Sears closed, I think they kind of had a lot of people that would park near there, so they would go shopping, and then they would go like, oh, it's dinner time, let's go over here and go to the restaurant. And it's not bad. It's it's one of those places that if Chef Ramsay went in there, he would be disgusted because he'd probably find all kinds of crap that the normal person doesn't see. It was nice, but it wasn't like, I guess it's one of those like cheap date sort of places, like, oh, we're gonna go to Golden Corral, ooh, yay, like, I don't know, it's just, yeah, it was okay. I mean, I don't know, but right across from there was a kind of like a somewhat like a Benihana's, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't called that. It was a smaller chain or something. There was a few in the area, I think, that had like, you could go there and they had the grill and you could order, and the chef cooks it right there in front of you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's okay food. It's probably not the greatest food. It's probably not cooked, like they probably barely cook it correctly. Is my feeling. We need to go just a little bit more. So yeah, it's just not a place that, but it was okay. Like when my friend and I, it's like, hey, we had some money in our pocket, let's go to all you can eat, and then so. There was some pretty decent restaurants in the area, but I don't know. I didn't really see how much of it was still open when I was there last year. Because it was like I only had like a couple days, it seemed, and it was just like, the time was over. But, yeah. Yeah, it's That's pretty much what it was. Golden Corral. I had to think about it for a moment. Like, I know the name, I just couldn't remember it. Because on the local news, like the local stations, they would always have a Golden Corral commercial. Come to Golden Corral, we now have, blah, and it's like, oh, and of course you get some people be like, I'm going there tonight. Honey, put your evening attire on. We're going to Golden Corral. Yeah. Put your fancy clothes on. We're going to Golden Corral. But yeah, they would always have a commercial on one of the local channels about something that they had new there. Like, I think when they got the chocolate fountain thing working, that was like a big commercial. Golden Corral now introduces the always flowing chocolate fountain. You can have chocolate strawberries. You can have chocolate marshmallows. Chocolate bananas. Yeah, it was. I do remember seeing those or even on the radio. They would they bought up all kinds of ad time. Yeah, there was either on the TV or on the radio, one or the other, or both. Well, yeah, if you listen to the radio, you're guaranteed to hear a Golden Corral commercial, no matter what station you listen to. I mean, they must their marketing expenditures must have been through the roof, because they were on TV, they were on radio. I'm sure if newspapers, they would have an ad in the newspapers, especially on the Sunday paper. So yeah, always something. All right, 33 nautical miles to our first point of our DME arc. See if we can get a little bit more altitude dropped here. Oh, hello, Daniel. It was Joe streaming, so he's in Joe's stream. I'm guessing that's probably where Addie's is as well. Addie's probably buggered off. I think Joe's streaming something this morning. So Addie's is there. That's fine. No, watch any moment. Yeah, that's fine. Addie's will pop. I'm still here, Rob. Any minute now, he's gonna pop in and say that. Alright, so I think by here we need to start dropping some more altitude here, for sure. We need to get down to about 7,000. We're out of the high stuff now. They do, kind of, but it's like, it's not bad. There's a few restaurants in the area. There's some that kind of started up. They opened up like 6 months prior to the pandemic, and some of them have already closed up, like they just couldn't survive. The long-standing ones have made it through somehow. There's a couple places that have been there for quite some time that are still going, but it's not like a You know, when I think of downtown, I think of like downtown Savannah. I like downtown Savannah because it's just like this very chilled atmosphere. You know, you could sit on a park bench right there on the Savannah River and watch the tugboats, you know, going by, or the big container ships going somewhere, that sort of thing. Um, so that was always, you know, just something different to do. Um, you know, during the summer downtown, they would have like art and craft fairs, arts and crafts, not art and craft, arts and crafts. You know, people would create jewelry or something like that and sell it there. They would have like there's an area that they turned into a stage, so there'd be some live music and, you know, stuff like that. Then over in the city market area, they had like, it was all, they had a couple bars and restaurants, but it was all artists, you know. So like they'd have their own studios, they would sell stuff from there as well. So yeah, just it was a pretty interesting place. But hello, Daniel. Nice to see you here. Hopefully you've enjoyed your fish and chips for the day, or if you're finishing up. Nice to see you here. So yeah, they had that. There was a much, you know, like downtown was a lot more. There was always something really to do. You know, they had what they call First Friday. They had it up here, but it wasn't really a big deal. But in Savannah, it's like a very, you know, like so you could start downtown. You go to all the, you go to see all the artists. They show their work. Sometimes they have like a little demonstrations. And the studio where I took oil painting classes at for a little while, they would have like a guest artist that would come in and do like do drawings or paintings with like, or stuff with the pastel pencils or something like that, or, you know, all kinds of different stuff. So it was always like it was like a big party, you know, and so it was always an interesting time. But here it's just like they had that, but it just didn't feel the same, you know. Like the gallery, or the place where my former photography teacher, where she worked at, like they were kind of like left. Nobody really talked, you know, like encouraged people to go there. They would go downtown, see a couple things, and they would go home. But they would always forget that there's like a little gallery space there, and so people would have work there and stuff like that. But it's just not, you know, like I've had stuff shown there a couple times, but it just, yeah, you know, they're off the beaten path, so people would just kind of go like, you know, we were downtown, we saw a couple things, we're good, you know. So, but yeah, there's not, downtown here is just kind of like, well, there's a lot of buildings that are being renovated, or they've been closed for at least since I've lived in the area, that just now are getting, you know, somebody's in there trying to turn it into something. I don't know what it'll be, but yeah, it's all right. Let's see, we are 11 nautical miles. All right, let's get down another 1,000 feet. Only other person in the sky with me today is I guess a 787 going into somewhere. So they're getting ready to land pretty soon. I don't know where that would be, but all right. I need to pay attention here so I don't miss All right, from here we're gonna go on a turn of 067 degrees for 22 nautical miles. So yeah, not much in the way of really a downtown. I mean, there's stuff, you know. Mainly, it's probably more active during the when the schools open here at the university. There's a lot more people in town, but during the summer, it's a little bit busy, but not like it's not a place that most people would come to visit. You know, it's not like a touristy sort of spot unless there's something you're looking for specifically. Like if you know, if you're interested in the history of IBM in the area, for instance, something like that. But otherwise, it's, you know, you may stop over for the night if you're heading south or something. I don't know. That's not a. I wouldn't say it's a very popular tourist destination. All right, there's our fixed point there on heading of 067. So we're waiting for it to change to Umba. You know, so what I've been doing kind of as we get ready to start our DME arc here. Let me drop down to 5,000 feet. Oops. I've been going through, you know, like our flights, our continuing flights, what's left of the flight to Indonesia, for instance. What I've been doing is I try to go and find like an approach, kind of like what we're doing here. So that way we kind of just do those approaches. 067. So we just kind of incorporate that and just do a little bit of, you know, some more interesting flying. But what the problem is I've been doing them much later in the evening and I'm kind of tired, and so I'm looking at information, I'm writing it down, but I'm like, it's chicken scratch. Oh, now I'm having a mug of tea. Nice. Good deal, Daniel. I ran out of coffee yesterday, so I'm trying to live without coffee until Monday. It's not easy, I can tell you that much. All right. I think we can go ahead and pull back on the east down to about 90. Matter of fact, let's just go all the way to 80. Put the mixture back up. We need to check the gas, the fuel, see where we're at on the tanks. Oh, we still got plenty left. Nice. Excelente. Alright, so our airport should be somewhere over here. Should be able to kind of identify it, I think, from the air. Before we turn in for our final approach. Alright, from here we have 15 nautical miles left. And we need to be... Okay, we're at 5,000 feet already, roughly. So that's good. And... once we get to this fixed point, and then we'll go ahead and start slowing down and turn. Once we get to this next one, we'll turn on it heading at 209, and then we'll be lined up for landing. Greatly appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out for a while today. However long you were able to, greatly appreciate it. So nice to have you all here. In fact, I feel confident we can go ahead and drop our first bit of flaps here. This going, start getting it uploaded to YouTube for tomorrow. Tomorrow, just 2 runs on the Hamburg to Lübeck line. Almost there. We'll probably do a couple freights. I'm not sure. Maybe just some freight, just to do one down to one end and back. That'll be it for tomorrow. All right, so I think our airport's back that way. Matter of fact, I think that's it right there. Looks like a runway. All right, yep. Oops. Lined up here. Ooh, we are a little bit off track here. We got to get back to the left just a bit. Turned a little bit early, I think. I think what we can do is we can go ahead and get rid of that. Got enough fuel. If we had to do a go around, we certainly could. But I have my, that should be our airport right there. Yep, I turned a little too early. But there we are. There's our destination right there. hold on just a second, Mila. I'll answer your question here. Let me just get the... I did have some cereal this morning, but that's been about it. I'll probably eat something here in a little while. But that's her. For some reason our VOR did not line up. It should have, since it's at the end of the runway there. There we are. Welcome to Great Falls, Montana, everybody. I think they're only 2 hours behind me. It might be 3. I'm not sure. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, welcome to Great Falls, Montana. We understand and appreciate the fact that Miller was asking about my breakfast while I was on final approach. That's okay. We'll be back tomorrow on Train Sim World 2 only, Humber to Lubeck. Probably a couple of runs on the, let's do some fun, just a couple of runs with the, thank you, on the freight services. So we'll get that done, and then that'll be it for tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday, flying Junkers 52. The time of the stream is TBD. I'm going to try to keep it about the 7:30ish time frame, if at all possible. Boy, doesn't really seem like there's much. It's not labeled like a parking spot, but I guess over here we'll do just fine. So we'll do that. Yeah, as soon as I can get back from shopping and get the coffee going and a little something to eat. Oops. And we'll get that done. So, thank you all for coming in and hanging out for however long you could or wanted to, or whatever the case may be, or however long technology may have allowed you to hang out. Appreciate it. So, right, there we go. I think this is a good spot right here. This looks like a good parking spot. There we go. Oh, an hour 14. Yeah, not too bad. Of course, we didn't get credit for the takeoff, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and put this into FS Hub. So we had I gotta find the P-38. I think it's on here. I don't think I found it. I just might have to put it in as a unknown. Yeah, I'll just put unknown. KSKA 1114 KGTF 1229. Submit. Bingo. I'm a junior flight officer with Firefly Air. I feel, wow, junior officer. I'm so, it's amazing. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow on Train Sim World 2, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. Obviously, no multiplayer with that, so don't have to worry about all that. I don't know what services we'll do. We'll find out when we get there. How about that? Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper.